Okay, right now this demo is about how to do your ad remix project. So you're going to start with Google image search. You're going to find an ad that you find offensive, something that contains stereotypes in it, something that contains one of the isms that we talked about, like sexism or racism or ageism, beautyism. You can review those notes. So right now, I think I'm going to do a car advertisement because I know there's one that's a sexist ad, and it's a BMW advertisement. So I just typed in BMW sexist ad, and I went to Google image search, and I'm scrolling down. This is the image that I want to choose. So I click on it. Once I click on that image, it's going to pop up in a new screen, and I'm on a Mac, so I hit Control click on my image, and I can do Save Image As. Or you're on a Chromebook, so there should be three little dots in the top right corner. When you click on those, there should be an option for you to download the ad. That's what you want to do. So I'm going to, for me, Control click my picture and do Save Image As. I'm saving it to my Downloads folder. It automatically is going to go there. If you have an option to rename it, I would do that so you can find it later. So I'm going to title this the BMW ad, and I'm going to just click Save. That means my ad is now in my Downloads folder, so I can go ahead and start editing it in Pixlr. So I'm going to come up here and to my URL bar, and I'm going to type in pixlr.com, pixlr.com, and there we go, pixlr.com. And you're going to go to Pixlr X for Pixlr Express. Okay, once you get there, I've already done a bunch of projects, so they're already saved. Yours will probably be blank, so you're going to come over to this right-hand side or left-hand side and select Create New. You're going to make it a full HD image, and then do not forget to title it your name. So Lisa, and then the project name is Ad Remix. Okay, this is my demo, so I'm going to write demo. You don't have to write that. Hit create, and there we go. We have a new canvas that we're going to work on. So in order to use this canvas, you're going to come down here and you're going to have to upload your image. So I'm going to click on, it looks like a little mountain, click on Add Image, come up to Browse, and then you're going to have an option to find your image in your Downloads folder. So select your Downloads folder. And I titled this BMW ad, so there it is right there, BMW. It's a JPEG image, which is a photo image, and select Open. And instead of creating a new document, you want to just add it to this current project. And there we go. The first thing you want to do is resize it. If it's really small, you just drag out the corners of this advertisement until it fills your page, okay? So there's my ad filling the page, and now I need to think about how to change this negative message into something positive. So right now the tagline says the ultimate attraction, and they have an image of a magazine over this woman's face. She's naked, so they're objectifying this woman. We don't see her face. They're basically talking about comparing women to cars. So instead of the ultimate attraction, I'm going to play on this tagline and flip it, and I'm going to say the ultimate repulsion, like something that's repulsive is something that's disgusting. So I'm going to use my text tool right here, text, and I'm going to add new text, and I'm going to type in here repulsion. Okay, now I can shorten this text box so that I get it to the size I want, and I can, once my mouse turns into a crosshair like that, I can move it where I want it. So now it's right there. That looks pretty not great, right? So this is a media class. You want to pay attention to your design elements. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the font style. I don't really like that font style. I'm going to try to find something that looks more kind of goes along with the theme of this this advertisement. So I don't want anything like cursive or flowy. I want something that looks kind of chic and new because it's a car ad, right? So and these are hard for you to probably read because this image is so small. So that's part of the problem right here. But here we go. Let's see. Let me choose. I'm going to choose this Adams fur because it looks kind of very like futuristic, like it would be for a car ad. Okay. It's hard to read, right? So because it's a light color on a light color. So you're going to come down to background and scroll down and select your background. So you're going to add a background to that word. And gray is okay. It's not the best, but if I want a different color, I would click on this color tab, and I'm going to make it red because I'm angry about all the sexism, right? So red kind of represents anger. So then I'm going to drag, it looks like it's cut off a little, so I'm going to drag this out. So now it says the ultimate repulsion. And if you want, you can change the size of the font to match it with your tagline size, but I kind of like it big like this. So I'm going to keep it that size. So it says the ultimate repulsion. And that's changed my tagline. Now I need to think about how I'm going to draw attention to the fact that this is sexist, right? So I think I'm going to add another, sorry, there's pop-up ads that happen. I think I'm going to add another text. So I go back to the T tool, text, and I'm going to add a new text, and I'm going to title this one kind of a play on words for the fact that this is a car ad. I'm going to write, let's drive sexist images out of our media. Okay? To kind of reinforce the idea that I know what ism it's looking at and that you're telling your audience what you want to get rid of, what you want to not see anymore in the media. So obviously this text is too big, so I'm going to need to scroll down, change the size. I'm going to make it smaller till it fits. Okay, that's a little bit too small. I can also just click on here and I'm going to manually write it in. So I think I'm going to say maybe 35 or 37. Okay. And it also, we still can't read it, right? So again, this is a media class. I want you to pay attention to design elements. And one of the reasons it's like there's a lot going on in the background. So what I'm just going to do is move this up to an empty space, right? So I can move it up here above his head. And again, if I want to add a background so that it's easier to read, I can do that too. So I move it to where I want it. I come down to background. I turn the background on, click on color, and again, I'm going to make it red. Okay, let's drive sexist images out of our media. And that sounds good. You can also add like outlines and shadows to your text if you want to. But for now, that looks good. Okay, so now what I want to do is I think I want to layer over an image on top of her face and give her a face because otherwise she's being objectified. So I'm going to go to Google Images again, and I'm going to look up like an image of a face that looks disgusted. Facial expression, disgust. Okay, and then I'm going to go to images. And that one looks pretty good. That looks good because she's disgusted at being treated like this. So these all look pretty good. I like that one. I kind of like this one. So I'm going to use this image. Again, I'm going to click those three little tabs and hit download, or I'm going to click my control and my mouse and do save image as. And I'm going to call this yuck face. And it goes in your downloads. Again, save. So then I go back to Pixlr and I need to import this new image. So it's going to be a new layer in your editing page. So I go to add image, browse, and now I'm going to find yuck face in my downloads folder. There it is, alphabetical, and open. And I'm going to add it to my current project as a layer. Okay, so there it is. Now it's way too big. It's got a background on it. So I need to cut out this background first so that we just use the face. The way that I do that is I'm going to use this tool with the scissors. It's called the cutout tool, and select the lasso. Okay, once you select the lasso, you can see this little crosshair. You click on your mouse and draw around the image that you want to keep. So I want to keep this woman's face. Maybe I'll keep her shoulders. And you're going to need to keep holding down your mouse, and you're basically drawing around her until the beginning of your dotted line meets the end of your dotted line, because it has to be a full circuit for it to actually cut out. It's like you're cutting it out with scissors. Okay, so I need to go all the way across her head and meet my beginning point. Okay, so now that I have, whoops, it deleted what I was cutting out. So don't panic. Come down here and select invert cutout, which means to inverse the cutout. So instead of cutting out the person, we want to inverse it and cut out the background. So I'm going to inverse, and there she is. Okay, so face of disgust. Now, obviously she's too big, so I can come back to, and so I need to resize her. I go back to my move tool, which is this cross-haired mouse. And there again, the corners, I can shrink it down, and then I need to rotate it so that her face is sideways. So I click on this little knob at the top, and I can rotate it sideways like that. So it looks like it's matching to her face. And then I can shrink it again because it looks like she needs to be a little bit smaller, like that. Okay. So that's great. I got a face. Now we need to give her clothes. Also, her face is overlaid on top of the text. So if you come over onto the right-hand side, these are all your layers. Photoshop or Pixlr works in layers. So if I drag this top layer, which is the woman's face, drag it down underneath your text layer, it's going to send her behind. Okay, so now her face is behind. All right. And now I want to give her clothes. So I need to give her clothes by selecting the layer that is the original image. So you're going to click on your bottom layer, and I'm going to match her clothes to this blue shirt. So the way that I do that is I go to my paint tool, and I'm going to come down to color. And then I want to select this eyedropper tool. This eyedropper tool will take a sample of any color that already exists in your project. So I click on that, and then I just drag it around until I find the right color that I want. And so I'm putting that crosshair on top of that blue, and see how that color changes blue, and then click down, and then your paintbrush will turn to that same color blue. So now I can begin to paint her some clothes, and kind of mesh this into the original ad. Okay, you can change the size of your paintbrush if you want to get more detailed. Right now, this one seems okay. I'm going to give her just sleeves like that. And you're going to obviously take more time and make it real detailed. But for now, you get the idea. We're just kind of giving this woman clothes and filling in all those details. Okay, now I know I have this huge block here, so I'm going to scroll up and change the size of my brush. I'm going to make it bigger so that I can just get that all in one setting. Okay, now my brush is a lot bigger, so I can be faster with this. So there we go. A woman with a look of disgust. And let's do that. There we go. And actually, I kind of see her hair there, so I'm going to come back down to color, and I'm going to use my eyedropper tool again. I see the blonde hair underneath, so I'm going to select the white pillow color, and I'm going to make my brush size smaller, and I'm going to get in here and erase that blonde hair because I've changed the hair color. Okay, so you want to get real detailed so it looks like the original ad is kind of the same color meshes in with the original ad. All right, so that's how you do the ad remix. Now to save it, so I've got the ultimate repulsion, let's drive sexist images out of the media. You've learned how to use text tool, change the font. You've learned the paint tool, how to change the color with the eyedropper. You've learned how to layer images on top of each other. So now I'm done and I can hit save. And you're gonna make sure your name is saved properly. And you can save this as a PNG file or a JPEG. They're both still image files, and then hit download. That's going to drop into your downloads folder on your computer. And so what you're going to do now is you go to Google Classroom and you go to your right period. You're going to go to advertisement remix in your classwork. Here it is, the ad remix project. And on yours, it's going to say submit. You're going to hit submit, and then you're going to attach your ad remix as a file. You're not going to attach it from the drive because it's not saved in your drive right now. So when you go to submit your project in ad remix, if you look at the bottom of the options of how to attach something, you're going to look for the one that looks like a safety pin and attach a file. So when you click attach file, it's going to go to you can find your downloads folder and then scroll and find your ad remix. So I'm scrolling and I'm looking for Lisa remix demo. There it is. So then I can open and attach that file. Okay, so that's how you do it. Remember, when you finish your final product, you're also going to be completing the remix planning document, which is telling me that you understand what the product is selling, what kind of persuasion method is being used, who's the target audience, what's the tagline, all that information, and then details about how you changed your image remix so that it's a positive message. So you're submitting both your remix, your original ad, and this planning document. And then that's it. Okay. Good luck.